Do you need to test the sound again today, or are you good? Okay. All right, welcome back. Just kidding.
I was like, make sure before.
Not quite back yet.
Not quite back. Ew, baby. Okay.
Your hair looks really good. Your hair looks really good.
Good. Thanks.
Bangs are banging today.
The bangs are banging. They're out. I'm banging.
They're out to play.
I haven't been out in a while because they've been crazy. My hair's been, well, obviously, you all saw yesterday.
Yeah.
My hair was wild. It's been wild for a week.
So do you ever just do like a part? Like, do
no,
you know what I mean?
Because sometimes it looks like Dumb and Dumber, with like the weird like.
Not in the middle. I mean, like on this, like a side, like a
no, because
side swept bangs.
It's not quite long enough. I feel like so it looks like really short, and then it's like I'm like back in like 2000, like with the really like like the all the way across.
Oh, I know.
I'm in the middle, not in the middle. Well, I part my hair in the middle, so that's like where my head goes.
Yeah,
when I think about a part, because I don't part my hair on the side.
Yeah,
anymore. I haven't done that in like a hot second.
I'll do it every once in a while. I'll get a little
get crazy.
Get a little cray with the part.
Probably should have. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I was trying to make sure I felt like I knew what I wanted to, what we were doing. We're doing the high school one first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everyone, welcome back to Her Circle. I'm Chandler, and I'm co-host name. Today we're diving into that's funny, like, sometimes awkward, and kind of universal. Running into people from high school.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
I thought that sounded great. All right, take it away.
Anyways, welcome back to Her Circle. This is the real intro that we will keep. What?
I have anything in my teeth.
No, you're solid. Okay. You're good. I want to compliment Chandler's bangs today. They look really cute.
Thanks.
And before we started recording, I was asking Chandler where she if she ever parts it on the side. And she was like, no, I haven't done that in forever. And then it reminded me of when we used to cut our own bangs.
Yeah, for sure.
Like so confidently.
Yeah.
And
I all the time.
With kitchen shears.
Like, why would I go get that done?
Yeah. But and it would just be like one chunk on the side.
Just got to trim it up a little bit. It wasn't too hard. I mean, we thought it looked fine. Everybody did it. So I guess it wasn't
that's
like,
true.
We were just out there cutting our bangs and looking all crazy. Most people.
Well, we were out there cutting our bangs, looking crazy. But with everybody else. We weren't alone.
It was, didn't seem crazy at the time.
Yeah.
I'd still cut my bangs. I actually did
trim. Like a little trim.
Yeah. But, the Ryan didn't want me to do it. So I just did it without telling him while he was out of town. And I went into the lady that does my hair. She's been doing my hair for like 4 years now or something. And I was like, so she was like, oh my gosh, what are we doing today? And I was like, first of all, I want to go back more like lighter.
Yeah.
She goes, I knew it. I was like, I know, I'm sorry. I was like, I did like the dark. I said, but I miss having some kind of like a little bit more like dimension.
Yeah.
She's like, it's fine. She's like, we were not going to get you like anywhere near where you were. And I was like, oh no, yeah, I know. I was like, it's going to be a process. I was like, I don't care. And I was like, and I want to cut my bangs. She's like, oh dear Lord. And so I showed her a picture of like the color and cut. And she goes, oh, that's like the color's like practical. I was like, I'm not dumb. Like I wasn't like, I want to be as blonde as I was when you decided.
Yeah.
Like I know that's not how it's going to work. She goes, I got really nervous when you said you wanted to go back blonde, that you thought that this was going to just be like, I was like, no, because it took forever to get there.
That's funny.
And she goes, okay. And so she was like, didn't want me to do the bangs. And I was like, Ryan doesn't either, but I didn't tell him. She goes, oh my gosh. She goes, you do this to him all the time. I was like, well, I figured once they're done, he would just get over it. Like,
right.
He doesn't really care. He just was like, that was like one thing. He just was like, no, maybe not. And so I did it. She cut them for me. And afterwards she goes, dang it, they look cute. I was like, thanks. I was like, I've had them done like in high school. I did them once and I really like them. Yeah. And I never did them. I might have done them one more time before now, but I knew I liked them. I've always kind of wanted to bring them back. I just never did. And so I was like, why not? I need to
gave you the confidence.
Yeah, she could do it. I can do it.
Yeah. Right? We bless the hair women that have been in our lives because I went from super dark
Mhm.
to like platinum blonde
Yeah.
for 10 years. And then in between that time went back really dark again. And then months later went back to blonde.
Yeah.
And then now I've been dark for probably 5 years, I
Yeah.
think. I dyed my hair dark because Liv has darker hair and I
Yeah.
didn't want her to feel like,
Yeah.
because her brother has super blonde hair and then I had fake blonde hair. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to be a little bit more natural for
Yeah.
my daughter.
Never thought about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've all over the place. My lady is always just like, I don't even know what to expect when you come in.
But
I was
that's
like,
fun
keep
for
things
her.
fun. She's like, yeah, so fun. Like when I came in last time, I was like, we're gonna put red in it. She's
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh. She's like, why?
It was probably easier to do the red though, because you already had the blonde, so you didn't have to go
And
through.
I wasn't gonna do it, and then I told her, and she goes, oh, that's easy. We can do it. And I was like, okay. And she goes, oh, let me go see if I have the stuff real quick.
Yeah.
And I was like, so that was kind of your fault because you really encouraged it. I was gonna wait and like prepare you.
Yeah.
And she was like, and then she said, I have the stuff. And that's what she said. She's like, it's not as hard because you're already like have the base. So, and then I did that for a little bit. And I was like, I just missed the light.
Yeah.
So
It's always really pretty.
I was like,
Chandler's got great hair.
just bring it back, girl. So
Yeah.
I didn't tell Ryan. And then I was going to post on social media. And I was like, oh, I better send him a picture
Ryan.
before I post it on social media and him be like, why didn't you tell me? So he goes, oh my gosh, I'm not going to lie. I actually like him. He's like, they're not that short. I was like, what, do you think I was going to do that? Like,
Yeah.
and I was like, no, I'm not.
Of course it's going to look nice.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
you're
going
going
to
to
cut
have
him
it
like
done
normal
well.
bangs because I was scared they'd be like too short. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Not going to do that. I can't pull the micro bangs.
I don't know.
That's
what
a
they
trend. That shouldn't be a trend.
I agree.
The micro bangs are not.
I feel like that's a trend
banging.
amongst a specific,
Yeah.
very niche group of people
Yeah.
that rock the micro bangs.
Yeah. I don't like them.
We do not belong to that group, and
We
that's
do.
okay.
We do not.
So a couple weeks ago, I kind of had just a funny experience. And so, is there a spider in there?
Nope. I looked because I
Okay.
was scared.
Yesterday when we were recording, there was a tiny little spider stuck inside of the microphone. So Chandler was looking, and she was looking a little alert. So I was making sure there was not a spider in there.
No.
Anyways, so we're going to talk about like what it's like to see people from high school just out and about nowadays. And, you know, would you say hi to the people that you saw from high school? Would you ignore them? Would you hope that they ignore you?
Yeah.
I always feel like, okay, do they remember me?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much different I look to other people
Yeah.
who saw me. When did I graduate? 2010.
It's been
So
15 years.
I was going to say 13. I thought it was 30. It's been 15 years. That's wild.
Yeah, you're old.
So I've been out of school, and you too, as long as we've been in school,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
Because school's 13 years, like
Yeah.
kindergarten included.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
That's crazy. Anyways, 15
Wow.
years being out of high school. Chandler just rocked my world. I, for some reason, was like 13, whatever.
Whatever.
And I haven't seen too many people. And so a couple weeks ago, I was taking Liv to her tumbling camp. And I'm like, parked my car, and I'm getting her out of her buckles. And I look next to me, and there's another mom getting her daughter out, and she's like brushing her hair. And I just looked up at the mom, like just glanced at her. And in my head, I'm like, oh, that girl's like so pretty.
Mhm.
And then I start walking in, and I look at her, and I'm like, oh, and I say her name, and
Mhm.
she's like, Ashley. And we hug each other, walk in, like introduce our girls. And I haven't seen her since high school.
Yeah.
And so that was funny. And then I get inside, and I see another guy that I knew from high
Mhm.
school as well. And I'm like saying hi to him,
Yeah.
and he remembered my name. And because that's always awkward too. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like, do they even remember
Like,
me?
hey,
And I
and they're
don't. I remember people's names.
Mhm.
Like
I
if
know.
I see somebody, I know their name.
Yeah.
99% of the time. It's very rare that I don't remember. So I always feel like I remember. Am I going to look weird if I'm like, hey,
And
you
they're
know,
like,
remember
"Who are
someone's
you?"
name? Yeah. And
Yeah,
they'll be
why
like,
do you know my
oh,
name?
like you look so
Yeah.
familiar. Like that sucks.
Yeah.
So that was like in the morning dropping Liv
Yeah.
off. Then I am coming back to pick her
Mhm.
up, and I'm on the phone with my mom, and I see some other guy outside, and I'm like, are you kidding me? This is so-and-so from high school.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's him. He looks
Yeah.
the exact same. And so I'm laughing. I get out of the car, and I'm talking to the other girl from high school, and I'm like, hey, so-and-so's here. And she's like, oh my gosh, this is so funny. Anyway, so I go outside, and I say hi to him, and I take this picture. He was holding just randomly there was a snake outside and he caught the snake. And so Liv is fearless and she's like petting the snake and talking to him. And I'm like looking, going, how weird is life that 15 years after, like, you go from seeing these people every day since junior high most of the time to never seeing them.
Yeah.
And then 15 years down the line, he's holding a wild snake and my daughter's petting it.
Yeah.
Like, life is so weird.
Yeah.
And so it just got me thinking, like, it would be funny to do a, like, high school episode and kind of reminisce a little bit about what that's like. And before that, another, like, memory is coming to my mind. I was like 9 months pregnant with Roan. So you don't look great. I'm feeling horrible. Like, I'm just over it. And I'm going into my OB's office and I seriously saw that day, like 3 people from high school.
You're like,
and I just was like, hey, like that is the exact, like, this is not the day or the time that I want to see anyone. So I was just laughing, like my experience a couple weeks ago, actually interacting with people versus 18 months ago. I'm like, don't even look at me.
You're like, I don't even want to talk to you. Well, I'm from a small town. So
a
lot of people that I went to high school with are still like in the general area. But ironically enough, when I go home, I don't run into like a lot of them at all times. When I'm going, I'm usually with my family and it's usually short-lived. So I don't necessarily just like run into a lot of people. Every now and then I will. And then like when I go home for fair and rodeo, I typically run into more because the whole town's there and all the outskirt towns are there because it's like the thing to do.
It's a big thing, yeah.
So then is usually like a time where I run into people. There's still a couple of people that I haven't seen in a couple years. I just haven't like managed to run into them. They kind of like rotate who I happen to run into. But there was this time when I lived in Lubbock and a lot of people like lived in Lubbock or went to school in Lubbock or would go to Lubbock to do like shopping or whatever. And I was never that person that was like, if I saw someone from high school, I wasn't. Unless like I was like close to them or we were in like the same like friend group.
Right.
Then maybe, depending on like where things were at in life at that point. But there's some that I would, of course, would like go up to and like make the point to go out if I saw them like walking around. But there's some that I'm like, what would I say? Like we talked in high school, we're a small group. So a lot of times you knew everybody in your class. It wasn't like a huge school where you're like, I could have probably gone to someone that I've only seen a couple times. So, but I was like, what I'm like, hey. And I'm like, hey, how are you? Good. Okay. That's all I have to say to you. So I never like thought to do that. And I'm not a very like outgoing person. But me and Ryan were in the mall. And we were like on one side and somebody I went to school with like was walking. Was walking across the other side. And I was like, oh, hey, I went to high school with her. Just like throwing that out. He goes, yeah. Well, you're not going to go say hi? And I go, no. Oh, God, no. Like, why would you think that? He goes, wait, so you're not going to go over there? I'm like, no. Would you? He goes, well, probably. And I'm like, huh. I'm like, so then I was like, wait, is that weird? Like, am I in the wrong for not like going out of like, but I'm like, it's not like we like talked a lot in high school.
Yeah, you just recognized her.
Yeah, like I knew. It wasn't like, I mean, I guess I could have been like, hey, how are you? Cool. And then that'd be it. I mean, I guess I could have. But I'm like, I barely talked to them in high school. I mean, you usually have, cliques. You usually have groups of people who, but I was like, no. And then he was like, that's weird. I'm like, you're weird.
You're weird for wanting to go run over there and say hi.
I was like, if I like get up close and personal and like make eye contact, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm not going to like go out of my way to be like, hey. Like, I wouldn't have done that. But, like, maybe if we, like, passed by each other like, or we're, like, looking, like, oh, hi, how are you? Like, that probably would have been it, the extent of that. But, like, because there's people I see, like, in restaurants or stuff, and it's like, oh, hey, how are you? And that's it. And then there's some, it's like, oh, my gosh, I haven't seen you in so long. Yeah. You know, give a hug, sit down, you chit-chat for a little bit and kind of catch up. But I'm like, it just kind of think depends on, like, where your relationship was in high school, like, how close. And then kind of like maybe where is it at now? Because I had people that I was really close in high school and, you know, things happen and you're not. But now if I saw them, I mean, not that I wouldn't say hi to them, but I'm like, we're at different parts in life.
Yeah.
You know?
And you're not the same as you were in high school and they're not either. And you just kind of move on and you move past those versions of yourself. And the other day I was reading Heston's yearbook. And I'm going to pull up this note. Oops.
That's so funny.
I was laughing because I had never looked through his yearbook. And I remember.
I should have done that at home.
I know. I'd love to pull mine out and see. So when I was younger, my dad's yearbook was out. And I started reading this like huge long note from this girl. And I was like kind of reading it. And my dad's like, don't read that. Because it was from like, I think an ex-girlfriend like saying, I want to get back together with you, like professing her love and stuff. And so I was reading through Heston's yearbook, and he has this note from this girl. She says, Heston, wow, where do I begin? This year has been great. We had some great times. I'm so glad we're ... friends, like with a smiley face. You're such an amazing guy, and I'm so grateful for your example. You're going to be a great missionary. I just know it. And like, love you, her name.
Yeah.
So this is the girl that Heston, I guess they were friends, and friends in high school. And then they were like dating after he got back from his mission. And I met her a couple times because Heston was coming to my dad to ask for help with like a wedding ring. And she was there, like came to my dad's birthday party, and I was like waiting for someone too.
Yeah.
And Heston's mom is very doesn't have a great filter on her.
Yeah.
From her brain to her mouth, there's nothing slowing anything down. So she's like, oh, Heston, if you and so-and-so break up, then you and Ashley should totally go out right in front of this girl.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, yeah, that's funny. Not ever like.
Yeah, like that's not going to happen.
Imagining that. And then obviously fast forward like a few months, and Heston and I start dating. And then because they had broken up, and she just didn't want like whatever she wanted. It wasn't Heston anymore, which worked out for me.
Yeah.
And so it was just funny like reading that note, and I sent it to Heston, and we're just like laughing about it. And then we were talking earlier, Chandler and I, like, would I have liked Heston in high school, or would I have thought he was annoying? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. I always tell Ryan that. We're telling you that. I always tell Ryan, there's no way I would have dated you in high school. Like the stories I hear, I'm like, I love you, babe. You're such a butthole, or just like cocky and just like, like I'm hot shit. Yeah. Like humble up, boy, kind of thing. And so his big thing was he was the gymnast, and I don't know if anyone really else in the school was. So it's like, oh my gosh, you can do backflips. He would like show off. Like he still to this day, if someone asks him to, like, yeah, I can do one right now. Like he's like, he's ready to watch. Yeah. Yeah. And so he was just that kid that would show off, loved the attention, like loved eyes on him, like didn't back down from that, which I'm like the complete opposite. I'm like, don't look at me. Even when I was like competing and like my floor routine, I'm like, do you all have to watch me do it? Like you don't. Like I hated it.
There's mom, 3 other events.
Yeah, like watch them. And so he was that kid that like at meets, like his mom told me the story, and it just makes me laugh to this day. Like she was like, he was on high bar, and she was like, it was at a place where like there was seating like on the second floor. So like being up, we were more level with like the top of the high bar. Like we weren't on the ground. He was doing his giants. And in the middle of the giants, he turned his head to look at me to make sure I was watching.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, she's like, what else am I doing? Why? Yeah. I'm here for you. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So I'm clearly watching your routine. And I'm like, he just wanted to make sure. And when we started dating, he was cheering at Tech. It's like after every time he did a pass, he wanted to look and make sure I was watching. I was like, sweetie, I'm here for you. I'm watching you. Yeah. So yeah, good job.
All eyes are on you.
Also some of the time of the game. But yes, I am watching you.
Good for you.
Yeah. And so I'm always like, I would have been that kid that would have been like, because I did gymnastics. So I would have been like, you're not cool. Like I literally can do that. Some of the things. But I'm like, cool for you, like me too, like I'll do it with you. Like I would have been so like knocking him down pegs, like I kind of do now. I gotta humble him, a little bit.
Gotta keep it real.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't think I would have dated you. Yeah. Like, and he was like, all the teachers loved him because he was such like a little suck up, like all like
he has like an infectious personality. He's like good at communicating. Yeah. He makes people feel like he's got a warm, like inviting,
and he does.
Energy.
He's very good about like we were kind of talking about this with like your grandma the other night about like someone bringing something up. He'll ask questions and he like gets involved with conversation. Like he's not afraid to like have conversations with people. So he is very outgoing. And I think for like adults and parents who had relationships with the teachers, because he probably did, and he probably did cause crap, but like in a fun way, like
right, not in a harmful way.
In our class that were like that, like one of our classes was probably one of the teachers, like as a whole favorite class. Like we had relationships with the teachers, or you know, made fun and joked around. Like you just had a relationship. Yeah, us being a small town, you kind of know everybody personally, so sometimes that's easier to do. But he was that person, you know. But I'm always like, you would like. One teacher had him sign an autograph of a picture of him to get out of an assignment or something.
That's so funny.
Because they're like, well, then that way when you're famous, like I'll have the first autograph. And Ryan's like, okay, you know, and does it. And I'm like,
feeding the ego.
Yeah, you're like, cool. I know. And I'm always like, people will say, I'm like, you don't need to help it. He doesn't need any help. Like, just stop talking. Or they're like, oh my gosh, like you look so good. I love it. And I'm like, stop. He doesn't need it. You're just like making his head too big to walk through the door.
That's funny.
None of that family lacks in confidence. Attorney clan is solid.
Good.
It's just so funny. They all are. They're all just like, whatever, we got this. Like, we're the best at what we're doing, even if they're not.
Yeah.
Like,
don't be good. Just be good at it.
Yeah. Whatever that means.
They embody that.
So I don't know if I think I would date him. I think I would have been like, you would have been,
maybe it would have been.
I just wouldn't have been like impressed by him.
Yeah. So that's probably why he would have. Yeah. That's probably why he ended up with you, because he's like, well, everyone else is like, falling. I need to figure out what's going on over here.
Yeah, like why does she not care that
I'm
I can
so
do this?
confused.
He's not telling me all this stuff. Yeah, boosting my ego.
Heston was voted most fashionable. Like best dressed.
That's so fun. I almost did. I tried really hard. I think I got runner up, but it's okay. I can't remember who won it. I mean, she was a little cutie. She still is.
I got voted nothing. I don't even know if I'm sure my school did that, but I was not in the running for it.
I mean, I was surprised I even got nominated for anything, because I was not the person that was like outgoing. Like I had my friends and stuff, but I wasn't just like standing out with certain things. But I forgot about all those. Like, I would be
best dressed,
fun to
most
look
likely
back
to be
on, like,
famous,
who was the class
or something.
clown, or like we had like Mr. LHS and Mrs. LHS and like what. Yeah, the most successful or more likely like run the world.
Who's gonna end up on Broadway or something?
Like, that'd be kind of funny to go back and look and see.
Where
I know some of them off the top of my head, but I would be funny to go back and see like who won those all.
Yeah,
call them out.
When Heston was in high school, he said that he would never date a cheerleader.
Oh,
or someone who was blonde, or like a blonde girl.
Wow,
I was both of those things,
but not like a true blonde.
Not a real natural blonde, but at the time when we started dating, we were I'm natural. We started dating. I was blonde, and I was still coaching cheer. So
that's funny.
Yeah, you just never know.
Yeah, you don't.
I always said I would marry someone with blue eyes too.
Yeah,
he's got the darkest.
I always imagined someone a little bit taller
than Ryan.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
He's taller than me, though.
Well, what's funny, like I'm around Heston now, who he's tall.
Yeah.
But like compared to the men that I grew up with, like they all just seemed so big and tall. And then I was with Heston for so long, and then we went back to visit family.
Like you guys
and so like these uncles that I thought were these like huge guys are like next to Heston, like
you're like, oh.
So it's just so wild, like how your brain like thinks of things differently.
Yeah, I don't really think about Ryan until like we're by because he is like the shortest of like our friends. Until he like stands by them, he's always like, "Dang it, guys!" Like he's always like, because most of our friends are. Now I don't know if I would think necessarily like, "Oh my God, you're so huge." You have some that are taller, but I mean they're all taller than him. He's always like, "Seriously, guys?"
Yeah,
I'm like the shortest. I'm like, yeah, well, and his dad's like 6 foot.
Yeah, that's true.
So he just didn't.
It's all that gymnastics, all that showing off, stunted his growth.
That's another one. Do we think that's a real thing?
I
mean, they just say
I don't know. It's hard to say. So. From what I've understand with kids, like the best way to help them grow to their maximum height is like you've got to be eating enough, you've got to be feeding them right, so that their body, and it's good for them to have a little bit excess fat storages so that their body can focus on growing taller instead of like maintaining just their weight.
Yeah.
So I think with gymnasts, all of their fuel is going to the muscle growth and maintaining the muscles that they've already built, versus being able to grow taller. So the resources are just being allocated
somewhere else.
as their body's calling for it. Because they're being challenged in different ways than most kids are being challenged at that level. So their body, their brain is recognizing we need to put all of these resources into our muscle growth and maintenance versus putting that towards getting taller. So it's just the resources are being allocated as the body's calling for it. So that's my thought around it.
Yeah.
But what do I know?
What do I know? We're just here.
I just have one tall child. So far. So we were just talking about how nowadays, like going to a high school reunion doesn't really feel like a true reunion because of Facebook and Instagram. Like you pretty much have been Facebook friends or social media friends with these people. Like towards the end of high school, I would say.
During. Like I had Facebook and MySpace.
Oh, yes, we had MySpace. So we were like the first generation, I think, that had that connection right away with the people we were interacting with. Yeah, top 8. And what a passive aggressive way to let people know you're mad at them.
I think about that now. This generation could not handle.
Oh my gosh.
Like getting bumped down
or not being in the top 8.
Yeah. Or having to like rotate friends to like make them realize like, I want you all top 1, but you can't be top 1.
It can't be top.
Or you just like cut it into like top 1 and it's like who you're dating so nobody gets like
hurt feelings.
It's just like, I don't know, he's cute.
So we've always been connected with the people we've been in school with. But my mom and our parents' generation, I remember her being like so excited to go to her 20 year because she's going to see these people for the first time in 20 years. Yeah. And we just don't have that same like thing to deal with. And to be like all the people that I want to see from high school, I still see. Yeah. Or talk to.
Like we had a 10-year reunion and I remember I almost went, I had something like going on. So I was like debating back and forth and like Allie and Emily were going to go. And so then I was like, okay, I can like go with you. Cause at least like I know for sure somebody's like going to be there. And they had some of their friends go, but I don't really think like and I might be a little bit more dramatic. There might have been more, but it was like 30, 40, 45 people.
Not
like,
a huge turnout.
It was not a lot. And what's funny is a lot of people in my age and even like around live in Lovington or like Hobbs, like somewhere around the general area to where they could have just like popped in. And a lot of the people that live there didn't pop in. So I thought it was kind of funny because in my head, I'm like, did they not? Because in their head, they're like, well, I see the people often or I run into them or we still play golf together or we still go eat or like the people I do want to see, I see. So I thought that was interesting. I winded up not going and I kind of wish I did because the idea of a reunion to me is kind of cool, but it is hard to get excited about it when you're like, well, I know Sue has 3 kids and is going through whatever, or I know like, Joe got a divorce or whatever, you know, because I mean, people do, not everybody, but a lot of people do post things or you wind up, if you can dig, you wind up finding things out through like, well, I haven't posted about this in a while, you know. So I'm like, you kind of
spouse is suspiciously missing from your profile picture for like all of a year,
where it's weird. Yeah. So it's like you can kind of configure some things out to a certain extent. So then some people are like, well, why do I feel like I need to do that? I can reach out to them on here or I see them because we live close by. So I think the idea of reunions are just not as exciting.
Same. Yeah.
Because I'm like my aunt and them just had their like 50. How old is she? I'm not going to say that out loud. Sorry, Kim. But like, number. She had
past a 20-year
reunion. And like they're still doing it. And there was quite a bit. It obviously wasn't as big. Obviously, when you get older, sometimes traveling things or whatever. So, but I'm like, they still did that. They still planned it. And I'm like, because that's how they are connecting.
Right.
Because a lot of them, some of them have Facebook now. Some of those people, like older generations, have jumped on that train and they have managed to somewhat figure out how to use it. Yeah. So that's kind of fun for them. And I actually think for them it was fun because they're like, oh my gosh, I know what so-and-so's doing.
Yeah, because they really want to know.
You know? So I don't have to write a letter anymore, like pen pals or whatever. Because I'm like, that's what they did. And so reunions was like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. And you hadn't seen them. So they walk in and you're like, you know, you're trying to figure out, or like, oh, you look the same, or oh, this or that. Whereas that's like, I know who you are. I know because I follow you. So if I saw you 10 years later, 15, 20, 30 years later, it's like, I know who you are because I've been following you. So it's that excitement and that like mystery.
Right.
And
It's all, there's nothing
Yeah.
there. It's just, you just know it.
And like I was saying to Allie the other day, last time we hung out, I think we were talking about just like things. And I was like, I don't even know if I see us having like them planning a 20 year. Cause it's like supposed to be like every 10, I think is like, I'm like, I don't see that happening.
Yeah. I hope my school does. Cause they did a 10-year one and my friends were like, are you going to go to it? And I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm going.
Yeah.
Which I look back and I'm like, why wouldn't I have just gone?
Yeah.
Because I would love to go in 5 years. I think that'd be really fun.
Yeah.
So I would go in 5 years for the 20. That sounds so crazy.
Weird. You're so old. Maybe like
we're the same age.
I'm not. Remember last time I said I was almost 33? Like, now you're not.
Yeah.
Now
that's
don't
true.
be good.
Now you're 30.
I mean, I'm kind of getting there. I'm only a couple months away.
Yeah, that's true.
But I feel like, I don't know, maybe like the 10 years out of school, it's almost like not too soon, but you're kind of
it feels a little too
getting
soon.
out of college a couple of years, you know, you have college and then you're like starting a family, maybe kids, and you're kind of like feeling like maybe it's too soon, or you still are kind of in contact with people, or maybe it's just like, oh, why would I do that?
Yeah.
But then it's like maybe when you get like 20, 30, it's like, oh my gosh, that would be so fun, because then at that point you might not have had talked to people in so long that it might be kind of more exciting. Like maybe 10 was like too soon for us
like
to be.
I felt like I wasn't in a place where I'm like, I don't have anything exciting to
And we
like,
were able to connect.
almost.
So it was almost like, I think in our heads, we were at that point where it was like, well, I kind of know what so-and-so. But as you get older, then you're like, but I don't really know. Now that we're like, you know, we're more mature. It's like, let's be real. Facebook isn't connection.
Right.
So it's like, I know, okay, you had a kid, but it's like, how are you feeling? How is your kid? What's your kid into?
It'd still be nice to have a real conversation. And I think when they did our tenure, they combined it with the class below us too.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because our tenure would have been COVID year. So I think they combined 2011.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was the class. Yeah, so the class that graduated a year after us, they combined it. So I think that was one thing where I'm like, that's kind of lame. Like, I don't want to go to a combined reunion. I thought that was weird.
I went to my aunt's last reunion and met all her people.
I think the weekend before my grandma passed away, she had gone to like either her high school reunion or like a nursing school reunion. And so everyone was saying like she got to see all these people she hadn't seen in 50 years one last time or something. So I think that's really cool that she
like Ryan's grandma and Pa, we just saw them last weekend when we were in New Braunfels area, and they were saying that they go monthly. I don't know if it's people from school. I think it's from church, but it's like people they've known since they've been married like a long time. And they all once a month get together and they rotate house and they host like a little get together. And I'm like, our generation would never.
I try. I want I always tell
cool.
like a couple of my friends, hey, we just once a month we need to rotate who hosts, but it's just so it is hard. Between the three of us, we have like 4, 8, like 10 kids. That's hard.
Someone's doing something.
Someone has something going on. Yeah. So that kind of brings us to our next point of the older generation connecting via Facebook. Yeah. And I remember when Facebook started, I feel like someone, I don't know, I kind of remember either asking my mom or dad, like, are there any, or a known person, like you may know, popped up on my dad's social media. And I think it was like an ex-girlfriend. And he was like, oh no, I'm not I'm not opening that window or anything. And so I like looked up this statistic for Facebook affairs. So over 25% of adults in the US admit to having affairs through Facebook. And of those
25
like virtual affairs, that 25%, the 40% of those online affairs turn into real life affairs.
It's crazy.
And Facebook is named in 1/3 of all divorce filings in the US. So I think the older generation has hopped on Facebook and thought, I'm going to look up the first love of my life.
Yeah.
There he is. And I'm going to start messaging. And it just starts like
Yeah.
casual and you mean well.
Yeah.
You're just trying to see how this person's doing. And then before you know it.
Yeah. Well, I'm like, I'm going to throw my mom out there. I mean, she's reconnected with her literal high school sweetheart.
Yeah.
And he reached out to her. Granted, neither one of them are married at the time.
They're both single.
But he was like, what is she up to? Can I find her? And he did. I think he created a Facebook to be able to do that.
Oh,
so like
Kiki.
He found her. I remember it was like, I think it was right before my wedding.
Yeah.
And I remember being home and I was like sitting on the counter and she's like, and she told me, she's like, oh my God, guess what? I was like, what? She goes, you're not going to believe like who added me. So of course we do like the guessing game. And I'm thinking of like all the people like maybe I knew or she dated that I knew or things like that. I'm like throwing out names and finally told me, I was like, oh my gosh, no. She goes, I don't know. And I don't think at the time she had accepted it. I think she was all, is it real? Do
she
I
was contemplating what
and I'm
to
like,
do.
just do it. And so they did. And I remember, I think they met up and then, I mean, they still like talk. We still see him. We visit. He lives close by.
He always comments on our posts together.
He's like a big hype man,
always
always supportive. He'll send us texts or call us to check in every so often. So I'm going to Lubbock in a couple weeks and he's like, you can stay with me. Theodore can come. Like if you need somewhere to stay and stuff like that. So it's just funny to think of like this guy that like dated my mom, like now being like in our life at some extent. And it's even funny because then he obviously knew my mom in high school. And so
they dated in high school, right?
Yeah. And so when we first started, I met him and we, first started just having him like over or we ate or went and met him or whatever it was. He would always be like, this is so weird seeing you because you look so much like her.
At that time.
Yeah. And so he was like, the way you talk and like walk, like he's just like, I literally am like, have like flashbacks and I'm like, whoa, you're her daughter. He's like, if I didn't know who you were, I feel like I would know who you were if I saw you. He goes, it's really weird because I knew her at your age. I was like, that is weird to think.
So in his mind, that's how he always pictured your mom. And then, so of course she looks so similar now, but then to see like
another walking
version of you for him, that's probably like, just so mind blowing.
I remember like I would talk and he'd like, sometimes he'd be like, whoa, or like face expressions. I remember one time I like walked against him. He goes, even your walk. Like he like yelled at me. He's like, this is so weird. I'm like, so and I don't think those things. Like I think I look like my mom. Yeah. And I think we have some like, facial expressions and talking, but
you do your dance.
That was good.
And when you say why, that's how your mom says it.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
See, but I don't notice those things because I'm just,
you're just living your life. That's just how you are.
So it was so funny to hear. So I'm like, that's kind of an interesting like thought, but they like reconnected and, friends and all kinds of things. So it's like, it's kind of funny to think that. I'm like, I never even thought about
because that would have never
blocked
happened
all my exes.
Right. They could never
I'm like, they wouldn't leave me alone. I'm like, I had the opposite. I'm like, that's funny. Block because you not apparently getting the memo. Yeah. So I'm like, I had to block you so you couldn't find me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I'm like, I had the opposite.
Yes. Problem. So that kind of leads me to the next question. Do you think our generation because most of us are either like been married or kind of in the thick of it with kids, or we're about to get married and kind of starting our life. So do you think our generation is more cautious about who we connect with online because of the possibility of an affair? Or do you think like people our age are destined to end up looking up exes from their past?
I don't know. I mean,
we're just not at the stage where we're like midlife crisis. I feel like Facebook for a lot of people came at the time when they weren't really happy with their lives anymore, their situation.
I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's like, I guess I could see it being like a thing where people start looking, because it's like if something's not going good in a relationship or marriage or whatever, you're gonna, I won't say you're gonna, not everybody does, because I wouldn't have an affair, but if you did, or you're curious, or you kind of wandered, that's the way to do it. Or like, nowadays you have all the dating apps, you have all the socials, and that's how people meet. They don't meet in a, and I don't mean this in a wrong way. I'm not saying it's not good and it can't work out, but like a genuine natural,
like a natural
way.
situation. Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I bumped into you in the grocery store. I met you at work or a friend. You know, it's not like a, to me, natural way of meeting. I'm not saying it can't work and be successful, but so I think that that's so much of how our generation has kind of started to, and now obviously younger than us, are meeting people. They're not meeting people one-on-one. They're not talking to people face to face.
Yeah.
You have like that something
Screen
in between.
protection. Yeah.
So I could see that being a thing because that's what they know now. It's probably how they would have met their husband or something.
Or I wonder if it's like you never stop doing that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like you're still messaging people.
Yeah.
You're still connecting because you're not thinking like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Because I know if I ever found like a message on Heston's phone, I'd be like, excuse me.
Yeah, like why?
This is not gonna work.
Like there's boundaries.
But I wonder if like some people just feel like that's normal.
That's like okay.
And they're not worried about it.
I do think some people's boundaries have lightened. I don't know if that's how I want to say it. To where to some people I don't think they care about, oh, I was just seeing how they were doing. And don't get me wrong, there's some like of the opposite sex of school that I do that every now and then they'll comment or message and be like, hey, how are you? Or, oh, I saw this, or I saw your mom, or how are you doing? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but there is boundaries and there are limits of being like, what are we talking about? Why are we talking about it? There's certain things that I'm like are off limits. But if you're just like checking in on a friend, like I had a lot of dude friends. Yeah. Most of them were. Yeah. Because that's just my personality. I had a lot. But my thing is a lot of the times it's like Ryan probably knows or he knows them. Right. Or he has met them at some point. Or if not, he knows enough about them because I've talked about them. They're not just like some random dude that they're just like, and there was no like prior romantic connection before. Yeah. I'm like, the guys that I have romantic connections with before, I don't talk to at all. Like they are blocked and gone. I know nothing about them. Yeah. And so granted, that might be different for some people because some people don't have crappy exes. Some people have exes that it just didn't work out. Right. Like most of his exes, I think they were fine. It just didn't work out. All my exes suck. Like there was a reason why we broke up. Yeah. So it was like, why would I want to talk to them? And even if I wanted to search for them, I couldn't because I have them blocked to where they don't exist. You can go to your block list. Oh. And you can unblock them. Oh, well, I don't need to do that. They're not forever blocked. Oh, okay. Unless you want them to be. Well, yeah, I don't need to know. But, I mean, I don't need to know. Like, I'm good. I hope you're doing good. I don't mean I wish want anything you the best. Bad. Yeah. Yeah. And I actually did recently hear a story about one of my exes because a small town, you hear things, and I'm like, huh. You tell me later. Interesting. I will. Okay. I'm like, interesting. So it's just funny because it's like, all right, well, I guess that's how he's doing. Yeah. You know, but I have no way. I had to block him. But like Ryan has some, like one of his exes as friends. It's like, whatever. But they didn't end like on bad terms. It was just like, this isn't what I want. Yeah. Just, it wasn't. And it wasn't like fun. It wasn't ideal. It was sad, but like there was no hard. And he's not like chit chatting her with on the reg in the background. Right, so it's like, to me, it's like there are boundaries, but I do think these generations' boundaries probably are a little bit more. A little blurred. Yeah. Which can possibly, which might work out just fine or can get you in some. And I'm a little bit more traditional and strict with boundaries. Yes. Because there's certain things I'm like, I know I don't want done to me. I also have trust issues. So there's certain things that like I would like and need done to help me not. To feel safe. Yeah. And so, and I also won't do that to you. And so I think that's it's just fair. Like a mutual, like, just respect. Like, I'm the one that comes first. Right. You're the one that comes first for me. Let's act like it kind of thing. Not saying that it doesn't, but I do think I'm a little bit more, we need boundaries. Yeah. It's a respect thing. I agree. But Heston, he runs into people from high school quite a bit, I feel like. He went to high school here in Queen Creek. Oh, okay. I'm like 30 minutes away, but it's such a weird concept of like thinking like with y'all, like, well, I will say a lot of people that like I know and think of and like follow from here, like still live here. Some don't, but it's funny to me to come back here because sometimes I run into people that and I'm like, oh, that's funny. Yeah. Like, and it's funny because like some of them, it's weird to think that I went to school with them like in my elementary years, because that's when I was here.
Yeah.
And some of them are still here, like my gym ages. But then I also was here 8th grade. So it's like I have that little bit older too. So it's like there's a lot of people that like even from like my elementary years, like if I ran into them now, I would know them because I follow them. Like some of my elementary friends I follow.
Yeah. So you would still know what they look like. There's like a neighborhood in Mesa that my cousin lives in.
Oh, yeah.
And she's not from here. She is from California. And she lives in this neighborhood. And she's always like saying how many people live there and have gone to Mountain View. And I'm like, oh my, I'm so glad I don't live in that neighborhood. Because
so
that
funny.
would just be like going to that like church or that ward, what might be like a little
it's like
irritating, you know. And I was like telling Chandler a funny story the other night. I'm not going to share it because I don't want to embarrass this person. But just laughing about how many people, or she'll say like, oh, my cousin's Ashley Adams. She went to Mountain View. And they're like, oh, yeah, we know Ashley. And then she'll come and tell me like, oh, I just met so-and-so. And I'm like, oh,
that's so funny.
Lovely.
Yeah. I'm like, that's so crazy. And it being from a small town, a lot of the people, like if I were to look back on yearbooks, I mean, all those kids you're in the same, because we only had like one elementary school, one middle school. So you didn't have the multiple schools.
Yeah.
We had multiple classrooms, obviously, in elementary. So it's like I might not have been in the same 5th grade class, but I mean, there's only so many kids. I graduated with like 130 to 40, something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, a lot of these people grew up together. So you see these pictures of them all young, and then it's like in high school, they're still in like it's the same people. Yes, obviously a couple filter here and there, but so that's funny because a lot of these kids have known each other like their whole lives.
Their whole lives, yeah.
It wasn't like a big town where we were moving around, and some of them are still there. So they see each other, and now it's like you have kids, and your kids are friends with their wild.
Well, it was just like weird the other day with Liv going in with that girl's friend, and then like, they came out on the 3rd day, and she's like, "Oh, she wants to come over and play," and I'm like, "How funny!"
Yeah, you're like interesting. You know? That's so crazy. I think it's funny to think like all the kids now being friends with the friends you grew up with. Me, not so much. I don't have kids, and B, I don't live there. But it's funny to see and like all like the interactions of people and like posting like on social. You kind of like can keep up with things, but. Like that is funny. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how, I don't know, if reunions continue to be a thing.
I feel like they won't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
I would hope they would still be.
Because it's like I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel like, and it could change. I just don't know if I think the younger generations, younger appreciate like connection.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Or they know it's not important enough for them.
Yeah, I don't know if I think because they're like, why would I can text him or I can snap him or I can see him. Yeah. Like, I don't know if I think they don't know the difference because they haven't not had socials. So I don't think they understand that there's a difference and there's a deeper way to connect, and that it might be fun to like come back in and see these people that you might have seen on Facebook, but have a conversation.
Yeah.
Do fun activities. Go,
Well, we will revisit this topic in 20 years.
When we're doing a podcast in 20 years.
We're not going to sound like that.
In 20 years, we'll be 50.
But we're not going to sound like that.
I don't know, I might.
Are you having a stroke between now and then?
Life might hit me hard. I don't know. 20 years is a long time.
I think you've got Ryan on your side, so nothing's going to hit you too hard.
I'm like, I don't know, man. It could be rough out there. What was there was something I read earlier that I was like, oh my gosh, that's.
Take a minute.
Why do you think people feel safe connecting on a screen? Like, why do you think like we were talking about this generation, like the younger generations. Yeah. Kind of, why do you think that? Do you think it's because that's all they know? Or do you think it's kind of like a fear of like that anxiety of connecting because they're like,
I think it's the power to show up exactly how you want to, because there's no physical presentation. You can sound however you want, and things come across differently when they're just written up. So it's a huge like protection for any kind of like, what's the word? Like criticism from another person. Can be a safety net. Safety net, absolutely. And then if they ask you a question, you have an indefinite amount of time to respond. You can like really articulate yourself. You can sound and show
Take
up
a
how
step
you
back.
want to sound and show up versus how you
Yeah.
actually are. So
Can
there's
chat GPT the answer.
exactly, there's a lot of safety in
Yeah.
being right in a one space and
Yeah.
not actually having like a physical interaction connecting with someone.
And that's the thing, I think why kids nowadays and probably a little bit younger adults have that like anxiety related to that stuff because they don't know how to do it.
Right.
And they panic. Like you said, like if I ask you a question and you're not going to be like, hold on, let me, you know, usually it's like, I kind of wanted the answer within a good reasonable amount of time,
Yeah.
like in a conversation. So it could make them panic.
Yeah.
They don't know how to respond back, or they're scared to, or they're scared of like, what will my answer make you react?
And having interpersonal skills, like maintaining eye contact, speaking well,
Yeah.
having the correct body language in a social interaction, like those are things that have to be learned and practiced.
Yeah.
And it's kind of trial and error.
Yeah.
And then you get more comfortable doing that, having those interactions. And as a parent, like with my kids, we practice like when this is how you shake someone's hand. You look them in the eye. When an adult asks you a question, you look at them and respond because you can do that. You don't look at me.
Yeah.
You have the answer. And I'm also really careful too if like someone says to my kids like, oh, do you like to eat this? Or so like Liv, or who is it? Oh, it's not, I'm trying to think if one of my kids are picky. So for example, if they said to one of my kids like, hey, do you want to try this? And if I know they're not going to like it, I would never say, oh, Liv doesn't like that. Like they didn't ask me.
Yeah.
They asked her.
Yeah.
So I would just wait for Liv to answer, and she may go, yeah, I'll try that. And sometimes kids do different things with other people, just not with parents. So it's like you just as a parent kind of practice that like interpersonal skills and communication with your kids and coach them and kind of get them like a little bit of exposure therapy so that when they are interacting with other adults or other kids, they're not just staring at them like
panic.
I don't know what to do or how to act.
Yeah. Especially when you get to the point where you're like an adult and you're at jobs or interviews. Interviews are hard.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah.
That's like, I mean, but that's another thing. It's like with practice, that gets better. You get more confident, but I'm like, you have to be able to do that. Interact with people at work and answer questions or be, you know, so I'm like, I definitely think it's a life skill. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Do you think we're too accessible now? Do you think we have too much access to people's lives without actually being in their lives? I think we do.
I think so. But I also feel like those are the people that like they choose to put it out there.
I was about to say that.
Like
people
I don't, I hardly post. Like I'll just do things here and there. And like I only have, of course, like this is a different, completely different scenario.
Yeah.
So it's like you're choosing to do that. And I do also think like if you've been through a really hard trial, it does feel good to share what you've gone through online. Like there is something therapeutic in that.
And you can meet people and have conversations
who have
that
dealt
might be
with the
helpful.
same things. And like I think back to
reach
when
more
we
people.
had Marin here sharing her story, like she said after I saw her at like a birthday party, and she's like, even if one person listened to that and like got something from it, like that's huge.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of power in sharing the struggles you've been through.
Yeah.
I personally like that's not my way to deal, and I don't even want to say deal with things. Like that's not how I choose to share what I've been through. But there's a lot of things on here that I've shared that I've gone through that I never would have imagined I would open myself up to sharing with, you know, whoever comes across our page.
Yeah.
So there's definitely power in sharing your story, but there also needs to be like restraint on your end as far as you're going to allow access into your life, you know?
Yeah.
So
I think it's that positivity can reach people. It could be a good way. You find that communities and certain things are just people. But yeah, I do think sometimes I'm like, do we all need to know this much about each other? Like, but
yeah, or I'll see someone post something and I'm like, oh, you probably really wish you didn't do that.
Wish you didn't do that. So what's one thing you appreciate about staying connected to people from high school? Like, what do you like about, I guess, like.
I'm just happy to see that, like, people, like, that they're thriving. They're doing good. Like, I just want people to be successful and happy. So I do appreciate seeing, like, oh, she just had a baby. Or, like, there's one girl that I went to high school with, and she's like a super well-known influencer now. She's got like great products. I buy her stuff.
Yeah.
She would never ever know me.
Yeah.
But I'm like proud to be like, oh, this girl went to my high school. Like and of course she makes a great product. So like I feel like I'm supporting her. And even though she has no idea who if I saw her, she would never be like, oh, you went to Mountain View. Yeah. She's 2 years older than me. But like, I just still feel like that pride of like, I'm so happy for her success and how amazing she's done. And I buy her stuff and I'm like, this girl went to my high school. Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
So
I think it's cool to see, just like you said, like, oh my gosh, you had another baby. Or got married, or like, oh, they moved to whatever, a new job. You know, it's fun to see in like those little like celebrations of people. And like, so I think it's cool to be able to. And then also too, if you do see them or you do run into them, it's also kind of nice to make it a little less awkward. You kind of know, like, oh my God, I saw that you had a baby.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of have like almost a buffer.
Yes,
It's not like, hey, I haven't seen you in 10 years, and be like, hey, what's happening? Sometimes it's kind of nice, because then if you do actually see them, you kind of have a little insight, and it's more natural conversation of like, oh my gosh, how was your kid's birthday?
Yeah.
Like, did they have so much, or whatever it is, or oh my gosh, I saw you had a new job. That's so awesome. You know, so I think that's kind of cool, because then if you run into them, it's not like completely like, well, because that can be weird. Totally. So sometimes it's nice to have like a running like idea of like this conversation's better. Because I don't want to completely be like rude and be like, hi, and then just like keep walking, which you know, I probably have done that many times.
There's been plenty of grocery store, late night grocery store runs where I'm like, oh, please don't let me see anyone.
Like, oh my gosh, that's fair. Yeah. But yeah, I think there's some awesome things with social media. I think it's fun. I'm interested to see reunions, like how they turn out in the next generations, and maybe if we keep doing them.
We'll find out in 5 years if we still have one. Yeah, I vote yes too.
But yeah,
we'll see.
All right, we will see you guys next week.